everyone, and welcome back to the Seafried and Brew weekly webcast. I am Jamie Sumner, and we're glad you're here with us. For this week's webcast, we're going to go ahead and look at the employment situation report that came out on Friday. Overall, it was a positive report. You can see that we created about 235,000 jobs in February, a little less than the 238,000 jobs that we created in January. But we still are above that 200,000 mark. So that's a big positive as we move throughout 2017. In fact, February, this marks the 77th consecutive month that we have increased employment. So if we were to look back across this time period, the average has been about 200,000 jobs created per month over the past 77 months. And if we look back over the past year, it's been about 169,000 jobs created a month. So this 235 is above the average for this time of expansion and above the overall past 12 months. We look forward to moving throughout 2017, and we hope to see consistency inside of this number. Now let's turn to the overall unemployment rate. The unemployment rate came in at 4.7%, which is under that January number of 4.8. So we had a positive improvement there by about 0.1%. Now if we look at the U6 number, so this is the U6, if you recall, is the all-encompassing unemployment number, looking at those individuals that are maybe no longer looking for work or discouraged workers or working part-time for economic reasons. And this number came in at 9.2%, 0.2 percentage points less than the January number. So we had a good improvement in this one. We look at the difference or the spread between the U6 number and the official unemployment rate, which is also known as the U3, and that spread is about 450 basis points between the two. Now, if we look back historically, prior to the Great Recession, we see that that average is about 380 basis points. So we're still well above that average, but we are making headway in here. Wage growth is another thing we want to keep an eye on, because as we get down to these levels of employment, we tend to start to see an increase in wages just because of the competition. So month over month, on an annualized basis, we saw a 2.77% increase in wages, and year over year about a 2.8. What we've seen over the past year and a half is this number steadily increasing throughout this time period. And in fact, if we look at a historical 6-month trailing average, we can see this continual uptick that we've seen since about 2014. And this number as of today is around that 2.7% mark when you look at the average 6-month trailing. So we're continuing to see this increase in wages, which is a positive on the consumer side, providing that additional income to hopefully put into our economy, which would be then shown within our GDP. So overall, a pretty positive employment situation report. That's what we have for you today. Next week, we'll look at the Fed release and the projections that will be coming out when they put that release out. Everyone have a great week. I look forward to seeing you next week.